Zayn Malik has always been a figure shrouded in a blend of mystery and raw emotion, ever since he stepped away from the polished pop machine of One Direction to forge his own path in the music industry. His latest revelation about his fourth solo album, Room Under the Stairs, underscores a pivotal moment in his artistic evolution, one where vulnerability isn't just a theme but the very foundation of the work. In a candid reflection, Malik described this project as the most honest endeavor of his career, a record born from the depths of personal introspection and unfiltered life experiences. It's a statement that resonates deeply with fans who have followed his journey from boy band heartthrob to introspective solo artist, each album peeling back another layer of his complex persona. What makes Room Under the Stairs stand out in Malik's discography is its unapologetic embrace of authenticity. Unlike his earlier works, which often danced on the edge of commercial appeal while dipping into R&B and pop sensibilities, this album feels like a direct line into the singer's soul. Malik elaborated on this during a takeover of BBC Radio 1, where he dove into the creative process with a sincerity that mirrored the lyrics themselves. Whenever I talk about Room Under the Stairs, it's always a really good conversation that I can have because I feel like I was the most involved with that record in terms of what I was trying to say, what my point was, and even just putting, actual life experience into lyricism rather than it just sounding cool, he shared. This admission highlights a shift from crafting verses for their sonic allure to infusing them with genuine narrative weight, drawing from the highs and lows of his personal life, including fatherhood, relationships, and the quiet struggles of self-discovery. To truly appreciate the depth of this honesty, one must consider Malik's trajectory. Emerging in 2010 as part of One Direction, the Bradford-born artist was thrust into a whirlwind of global fame, adoring crowds and relentless schedules. By 2015, at the peak of the band's success, he made the bold decision to leave, citing a desire for a more soulful musical direction. His debut solo album, Mind of Mine in 2016, introduced a sultry, nocturnal vibe with tracks like Pillow Talk, which debuted at #1 worldwide. It was a declaration of independence, but even then, there were hints of restraint, polished production that sometimes overshadowed the raw edges. Icarus Falls in 2018 experimented with genre blending from trap influences to ethereal ballads, yet it felt like a transitional piece, a sonic exploration still tethered to expectations. Then came Nobody Is Listening in 2020, a more stripped-back affair that began to whisper the vulnerabilities that would fully bloom in Room Under the Stairs. Released earlier in 2024, Room Under the Stairs arrives as a mature culmination, clocking in at 15 tracks that weave folk-tinged acoustics with subtle electronic undercurrents and Malik's signature falsetto. The title itself evokes a sense of hidden spaces, perhaps alluding to the private corners of the mind where truths are stored away until they're ready to be unearthed. Songs like What I Am serve as anthems of self-acceptance, with lyrics that confront imperfections head-on. During his radio session on November 20, 2024, the 32-year-old delved deeper into this ethos. So what I am is pretty self-explanatory, I'm not always great, he confessed, his voice carrying the weight of someone who's navigated public scrutiny, from his high-profile romance with Gigi Hadid to the pressures of single parenthood to his daughter Kai. I'm not a finished article, I'm not always perfect, but I try and I have intent in the right place and I feel like I love, and if you can accept that, then this is what I am, This level of candor isn't accidental. It's the result of a deliberate creative process. Malik has spoken in past interviews about retreating to rural Pennsylvania, where he now resides, to escape the urban chaos that once defined his life. There, amid rolling hills and quiet nights, he collaborated with producers like Dave Cobb, known for his work with folk rock luminaries such as Chris Stapleton and Brandi Carlile. Cobb's influence is evident in the album's organic textures, live instrumentation, minimal overdubs, and a warmth that contrasts the cool detachment of Malik's earlier output. The recording sessions were intimate, often just Malik, Cobb, and a handful of musicians in a home studio, allowing for spontaneous jams that captured fleeting emotions. One track, Dreamin', emerged from a late-night conversation about lost innocence, its guitar riffs evoking the ache of nostalgia while Malik's vocals soar with a mix of resignation and hope. Critics and fans alike have praised the album for its emotional intelligence, with many calling it Malik's most cohesive and compelling release. Publications have noted how it bridges the gap between pop accessibility and indie introspection, appealing to One Direction diehards while inviting newcomers into his world. At a time when the music industry is saturated with algorithm-driven hits, Room Under the Stairs stands as a testament to the power of restraint. Malik didn't chase viral TikTok moments. Instead, he prioritized storytelling, resulting in an album that unfolds like a personal journal. Tracks such as Stardust grapple with fame's double-edged sword, reflecting on how early success robbed him of normalcy, while Alienated explores isolation in relationships, a theme drawn from his own romantic upheavals. Beyond the music, Malik's openness about his mental health journey adds another layer to the album's resonance. In the radio interview, he touched on the imperfections that make him human, a narrative arc that echoes throughout the record. "I try and I have intent in the right place," he said, emphasizing growth over perfection. This philosophy permeates his public persona now, less the enigmatic pop star, more the reflective artist unafraid to show scars. Fans have flooded social media with stories of how the album has helped them confront their own vulnerabilities, turning Room Under the Stairs into a communal catharsis. It's no wonder that Malik views it as his pinnacle. It's not just an album but a mirror, reflecting the messy beauty of being alive.